The Mavericks don't want to give Kyrie Irving a 5-year max contract, but guess what? The most chaotic man in basketball controls their franchise. Great job, Mavs! How did that happen? Because they let Jalen Brunson walk for nothing, then traded good players to get Kyrie. Now if he leaves, Luka could say, this team doesn't know what they're doing. I need to leave. So they have to make Kyrie happy. But there are other ways to replace him. We are hearing serious rumors about the LA Lakers wanting a sign and trade. But is it worth it for Dallas? It turns out their number one issue is defense. Kyrie doesn't fix that. But still, reports say the Mavericks remain intent on re-signing Irving. Why? Because wait till you see what the other options are. So if he signs in Dallas, it's 5 years, $272 million. They want a shorter contract because Kyrie gets in trouble all the time, gets hurt all the time, will eventually be the worst contract in the NBA. So why not sign him to a 3-year contract? Because Kyrie could say, no, multiple teams will sign and trade for me, or I could go to one of these teams with cap space. Give me the 5-year max. Those teams with cap space are the Rockets, the Spurs, the Jazz, the Magic, the Hornet, the Thunder, or the Pistons. None of those look realistic except maybe the Houston Rockets if they miss out on like a Jaylen Brown or James Harden. So I do think we're gonna hear rumors about, Kyrie really likes what they're doing in Houston. But his number one choice is rejoining LeBron on the Lakers. It's not a coincidence he went to multiple Laker playoff games. But a report came out that Dallas does not want D'Angelo Russell in return. So what could the Mavericks get instead? We will lay out that trade, but why are they so interested in re-signing Kyrie? I mean, after he joined them, they went 5-11 with Kyrie and Luka. They were trying to win games, but lost to the Hornets back-to-back. Then, with the 10 seed still available, they chose to tank to keep their pick. Oh, but it's impossible to win from the play-in. Have you heard of the Miami Heat? That really shows the difference in culture from like the Heat and Dallas. One is a winning mentality and the other is losing. So the NBA was so mad that Dallas did this, they fined them $750,000. Because other teams tank, but the Mavs straight up were like, oh, the play-in? That's cute, but no thanks. Now, the plan did work for them because they were able to keep their first round pick at 10 overall, and we're gonna go over who they should draft, but this team has so many issues. I mean, look at how bad their defense was. 25th overall on D, 30th in rebound percentage, 24th opponent field goal percentage, which means you get easy shots at the rim against Dallas and they can't get a rebound. And that was after they tried to fix that issue, signing Christian Wood and JaVale McGee. So dumb, but honestly, it's a pattern with Mark Cuban as owner. For some reason, no good free agents want to sign there. This is a list of guys who they tried to get but failed. And I am sorry you have to relive this, Mavs fans, but you guys remember each and every one of these players. Everyone tells us Dallas is a great city, no state tax, Cuban treats the players well, but for some reason, no one actually goes there. I mean, even Houston gets free agents like prime Dwight Howard. What is going on? I think it is an open secret. Dallas is dysfunctional. There was the shadow GM that Cuban hired, who was actually a professional gambler who made the front office toxic. The allegations of workplace abuse by multiple women. If they didn't get Luka on draft night in 2018, we'd be going on 12 years of horrible Mavericks basketball. So if they don't perfectly execute this Kyrie situation, Luka could leave. So what do? First is offer Kai that 3-year max deal. It lines up with Luka's contract, so they're not stuck with Kyrie if Luka leaves. If Kai refuses, though, they look at a sign and trade, and we have 2 major rumors. Now, in mid-March, a Lakers reporter said LA was not interested in Kyrie anymore. They were happy with the current roster, LeBron, AD, and then D'Lo, Vanderbilt, Rui, Austin Reeves. But then they got swept in the playoffs by the Nuggets. Maybe this team isn't as close as they looked. Maybe a big change is what they need. Meanwhile, Kyrie's showing up to Laker games, hugging LeBron. We already know LeBron wants Kyrie, but the GM already forced them to trade for Russell Westbrook, and we know how that turned out. So in a desperate move to force the front office, LeBron says, you know what, I just might retire. Of course, this is just what I think is going on, but it's pretty obvious. I mean, Bronny is 1 year away now. Why would he retire? Because LeBron is hoping the front office will say, oh, don't retire, LeBron, we'll do whatever you want. And then he says, you know what I want? Sign Kyrie. Now, we don't know if this whole thing is gonna work, but a sign and trade would look like this. Lakers get Kai, Mavericks get Malik Beasley, Mo Bamba, Jared Vanderbilt, and the 17th overall pick if it's traded on draft night. This would force Kyrie to take less money, but it makes sense for Dallas to replace him with something. I mean, Beasley is a shooter, Vanderbilt good defense, Bamba can catch lobs from Luka, and they have the number 10 and 17 overall pick. How much could they get for 2 firsts? A ton! Mavericks get OG Anunoby. The Raptors get Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, JaVale McGee for salary. Both of those picks and the Mavs 2027 first. Now this is obviously speculation. We don't know if OG is actually available, but the rumors are out there. The Mavericks need good defense, and they could, with all this, replace Kai with OG, Vanderbilt, Bamba, and Malik Beasley. But what if Kyrie would walk for nothing to like the Rockets? Actually, the Mavericks would then have about $25 million in cap space. They could get a decent free agent. Guys in that realm are like a Naz Reid, everybody's favorite Dylan Brooks, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Patrick Beverley for less than 25, or maybe Jeremy Grant if the Mavs get really lucky. So yes, I do think the Mavs should trade the number 10 overall pick. They do not need to draft some guy who's 2 or 3 years away. But there is one other gigantic rumor that we have to mention. DeAndre Ayton. We all know he needs a fresh start after things have gone toxic in Phoenix. He looked amazing in their 2021 finals run, but then after they refused to give him that max contract, things went south. Now he has had back-to-back horrible playoffs, but in Dallas, he could be a fit. Luka needs a pick-and-roll partner, and Ayton's interior defense is at least an upgrade. And with Chris Paul aging out, there's at least a chance they would be interested in reuniting Kyrie and KD. But that makes no sense. I thought their friendship was dicey. Then I heard a Suns insider in Phoenix say this.
I would not rule out a Kyrie Irving for DeAndre Ayton trade in the offseason.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Oh, God.
I would not rule out Kyrie Irving
God.
for DeAndre Ayton.
Oh, we all relate to that dude making weird noises in the background. But if that is true, the deal would look like this. The Suns get Kai, the 10th pick, and that 2027 first for DeAndre Ayton. So the Suns get Kyrie and 2 picks, which they need because all their picks are gone from the KD trade. With that, maybe they look to get a different center, or they roll with Jock Landale. But Kyrie is not the only all-star to get traded here. The Jaylen Brown situation is getting intense in Boston. Dude had his worst playoff game right before they're supposed to give him a supermax. If they don't offer him that, then Jaylen Brown could demand a trade. Check it out.